So this is the first time I'm ever doing some video recording. I'm gonna try and edit this video and try to start a video log. But today, what we have planned is I'm actually at work, so we have 3 job sites I gotta go to. First one being in Tulare. It's gonna be just evaluating the job site and looking for what we need to do as a potential consultant to put together a scope of work for this project. And the other 2 job sites are in Visalia. So those will be simply just doing some USA marking for underground service alert. Most of you don't know what that is, but what it basically entails is you go in and you mark along the pavement or in the property itself of where you're going to be doing proposed excavating, whether you're using a backhoe, an excavator, or a drill rig, which is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing that today, and those will be marked. That way we can call those in and let the USA know that we are doing some drilling in that area. And basically what they'll do is they're going to go out as they get the notification, and they are going to mark where their utilities are existing. So any sort of water lines, telephone lines, electrical lines, gas lines that could possibly be running underground. So any underground or overhead lines that are public utilities, they will go out and mark. So when we actually go out to drill, we are able to see those markings, and every color has its designation. So the day of drilling, we'll go out there and we'll evaluate where those markings are, and if we are safe to drill or we have to move some borings around. But oh man, here we go. Traffic. Before this job came up, I went out there. Basically what I'm doing today is USA site. When I went out there to USA, that site in Sand City. So if you're not familiar, Sand City is just north of Monterey, and I think it's right next to Seaside. That job made me really nervous because we're going to be drilling where there's existing businesses. So where there's existing businesses, there's utilities going everywhere. So, even with the markings from USA, I expressed my concern to the client about taking the utility marking a step further to private utilities. Okay. So the difference there is that what USA does not cover in the markings is any private utilities installed by the property owner or tenant. So any sort of irrigation lines, additional, let's say it's a store and you got a parking lot, and the parking lot has lights. Well, those are installed privately. Those are not publicly owned light poles. So any lines, electrical lines that are powering those light poles will be installed privately, and those will not be marked by USA. So if you hire a private utility locator, he will be able to go out there and detect where those lines are going. So we did that for this job in Sand City. It cost the client a little bit more money, but in the long run, you spend the money now and you minimize your chances of hitting a utility while we're drilling. So the cost of actually hitting a utility may be more than what it costs to hire a private utility locator. With that being said, if you hit a line, we may have to repair it. We have to let our client know. If it's an existing business that inconvenienced them, for instance, we hit a power line, then that business has no power, that business cannot operate, so they lose money. So the cost of actually hitting a line is more than what it would cost if you just hired a private utility locator. So they are out there doing that job in Sand City. It's a 2-day job, so they stayed overnight somewhere in the Monterey area, I would assume. And so I got a crew of 3 out there. One guy is out running perks, so there's going to be 2 people behind the drill rig today. So this is what it's like on a daily basis. Getting phone calls from the guys in the field. I actually do the scheduling, and I'm in charge of managing all the field operations now. So any site contacts and anything that happens out in the field, they'll call me, notify me. I'll just kind of guide them through problem solving on what to do next if issues come up, or for instance, he was talking about percolation tests, so yeah, he just wanted some guidance on what to do out there, because the whole purpose of the percolation test is to find out your stabilization rate and how fast you can get rid of your on-site stormwater, which would be like a bioswale, so you retain your stormwater on-site and you need to get rid of it. Percolation test would be a good way to do that. And he also used it for septic systems. So if you're putting in a septic system, we go out and we do percolation tests as well. So now those are a little bit more intricate. Those can be a little bit more difficult to deal with, because the county looks for specific rates, and they look for specific rates even in retention water, so storm basins, but they're a little bit more how would you put it, strict on septic system, because now you're working with wastewater. So yeah, they don't want the sewage systems to be backing up and causing a whole bunch of problems. Yep, that's that.